The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train years.
Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you guys for joining me tonight for another episode of Every 8 Hours. Tonight's story would be about 29-year-old Taylor Macfadden Robinson. Taylor was the bomb, guys. Learning about her life and doing this story is actually kind of bittersweet because she's one of those girls that I wish I knew about while she was alive. I mean, she was so inspirational. She was on top of her game. She was a very successful real estate agent, fashionista, beautiful. I loved the way she carried herself. I loved the positive quotes and affirmations she had on her page. I love all the things she was doing with her life. She had recently, like I said, she was in real estate for at least 5 years. She was making multiple sales per day, you guys. Multiple sales per day is crazy as a real estate agent because they get those bonuses. And they were saying it was not a day where she didn't make 2 or 3 sales a day. And I just really, really loved her life. I really loved learning about her. I know I say it on every video. Y'all probably tired of hearing it, but Taylor Macfadden was black girl magic. I took the Robinson off because that's her husband's last name. And as you guys know, leading up to this story, he is the one that murdered her. So let's get into the story. But before we get into a story, let me show you another video of the fabulousness of Taylor Macfadden.
I was gonna stop texting and calling me, asking me what you doing. Baby, I'm working. I'm always working. If I'm not working, I'm sleeping. Sleeping so I can work. Working so I can sleep, okay? And on a rare occasion, I'm not working or sleeping. I'm minding my business. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Working or sleeping.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
See, guys, Taylor was very inspirational. Like I said, I wish I had known about her before. I wish this was not the only way that I found out about her. There's plenty of black women out there that just makes us proud. As I'm watching her videos and finding out different information about her, I was just so proud. I noticed I had a smile on my face just watching her do her thing, and I'm like, yes. Yes, for professionalism. Yes, for the suits and the fashion. Yes, for the makeup. Yes, for the hair. Yes, sis, you are doing it. Her family says she built her business up from the bottom up, and that's really commendable. She worked for several real estate companies in her 5 years as a realtor, and she also had her own real estate company. So this girl was doing it. Or this woman, as I can say. She had 2 sons, and she married Duncan Robinson Jr. in 2015. The two were together for approximately 7 years. And I'm not trying to shame nobody, but I'm sorry, dude looks dusty and he does not look worthy of a woman of her caliber. I see so many stories, and even in, my friend's personal life, my personal life, or where we settle for these dudes, I do not think he was worthy. I'm sorry. I do not know him, and I may be judging him, but I don't think he was worthy. And it shows that he wasn't worthy because he ended up murdering her. And it's like, sometimes you could be dating just to be dating because you're not, no one's out there interesting, or this is the first person that showed you love, or she could have probably been in love with him. We don't know anything about them, but what I suspect is he probably was jealous. And sometimes, ladies, we are sleeping with the enemy. A lot of these guys be so jealous of your success. I had this one guy, I remember I was talking to this guy or interviewing him for the position of being my boyfriend, rather. And he was asking me what I did, and I was telling him what I did. I recently got my master's degree. I'm working in healthcare, and I'm just doing my thing. And he was just like, and make it so funny. She was from North Carolina, and he was from North Carolina too. But he was just like, yeah, it's so much easier for women to be successful. And I was like, excuse me? How is it so much easier? He said black women. How is it so much easier for black women to be successful? Because I don't remember it being successful when I was struggling and going to school with a child and, working weekends every weekend, trying to study for school and being in the bathroom while I'm supposed to be working on the floor at work in a hospital, reading my books and getting material ready. Like, I don't remember it being easy. And then there was this other guy, because I live in Atlanta, and so there was this other guy was interviewing for the position. Needless to say, the other guy did not get the position. Application denied. So then the other guy I was interviewing for the position of being my boyfriend, we were talking, and then I said, well, what problem do you run into as far as the women here in Atlanta? Because there's so many successful, beautiful women. And this man fixed his mouth to say, yes, but the women are not humble. What makes you think that a woman needs to be, why does she need to humble herself? Like, I felt like, I don't know, I just feel like it's so much narcissism running around in this world. And honestly, looking at him and I'm judging him, and I don't care if you're upset that I'm judging him, judge your mother. I just don't feel like he was worthy. I feel like he probably was one of them people who were jealous because she was so successful and she was doing her thing and she had so much to offer. So if she's divorcing you and she's finding somebody else, I mean, she's top tier, baby. She's top tier. And he probably was jealous. That's just the way I feel about it. But so it's very sad because Taylor was still mourning the death of her mom. So not only did you take the kids away from their mother, but you also took kids away that didn't even have a grandmother on their mom's side. And now the kids don't have a mother, a father, because you're going to be in jail, prison. And, they didn't have a grandmother. Taylor does have beautiful sisters that I'm sure will raise the kids into a loving environment. Another thing about her is she was starting a real estate class where she was teaching the real estate business to other people. And I know that would have been a success because it seems like everything she touched was a success. So he took someone who was making a very, very good mark on the world, who was inspirational and who was just somebody that people could look up to. And I just feel like this is happening so much. Like, if you look at some of this stuff on YouTube, it's a lot of black men who have so much animosity and so much anger towards us as black women. Even the guy in the story I told before that was saying, black women need to humble themselves. It's not being acknowledged that black women are the number one business entrepreneurs out here, even more so when COVID started. And even myself, I'm a medical professional, but during COVID, I was, having to work, but coming home, having nothing to do, I ended up starting my own business. And as my page grows, I'm going to start sharing more information about my business and maybe running ads for my business. But, I say this to say that black women are out here doing it. We are, we're doing our thing. We're being successful. We're, accomplishing so many goals. And like I said, sometimes you're sleeping with the enemy. Sometimes that number one hater is right there beside you, But let's watch the news story and then I'll come back with my final commentary.
Jennifer, the 29-year-old, was a very popular real estate agent here in Florence. Her family is extremely emotional over her death and says the court system failed her. 29-year-old Taylor Macfadden Robinson was called a rising star in the real estate world in Florence. Her family says she loved making people's dreams come true and was destined for success. But it all came to an end Sunday morning.
And to say that her life was cut short in this matter, something I can never get over. My family.
Police say Robinson's husband, Duncan Robinson Jr., burglarized her house on Rice Planters Lane in Florence and shot her. Officers found the realtor dead inside.
It will never be the same for me and my family. She's major loss.
Robinson appeared before a judge Monday morning in Florence. No details about the murder were shared, but the victim's sister says Taylor Macfadden tried to get an order of protection against her husband.
The system has failed us. My sister asked for a restraining order, and the judge denied it. Please do not allow the system to fail us again.
Duncan Robinson didn't say anything during the hearing. The judge didn't set bond for him, so he'll stay in jail for the time being. Robinson's family tells me she was a wonderful woman, mother, and friend.
My sister Taylor, if you knew her, you loved her. She was all about family, all about unity. If she could help you, she would.
I called the magistrate's office to check on the family's claims about the restraining orders. Now, that office says they cannot release information about orders of protection. Jennifer, many people think an order of protection is the same as a restraining order, but there's a difference.
It's kind of still.
I talked with attorney Robert Stucks out of Darlington County. He's dealt with orders of protection and restraining orders. Stucks tells me you can get a restraining order against someone who's committed at least 2 acts of harassment, stalking, other threatening behavior against you. For example, you have a neighbor that harasses you. That's grounds for a restraining order.
You would go to the magistrate's court and you would ask the judge to give you a restraining order against this person because there's a pattern of unwarranted intrusion into your life that a reasonable person would just, find offensive.
I went to Hope Hanna with the PD Coalition Against Domestic Violence to learn more about an order of protection. They see women who come in all the time wanting one. It involves people in a more close or intimate relationship, such as a husband and wife or a couple with children together. You have to prove to the family court judge that you're truly in fear of your life.
There has to be fear. There has to be a threat. There has to be something that states to the courts or from you that shows that you're in need of protection.
Here's a copy of that 12-page form for an order of protection. Now, you can go before a judge within 24 hours of filling it out in most cases. Now, I did make contact with family court today to ask if Taylor Macfadden Robinson was denied an order of protection. I have been told that I can come in tomorrow to the courthouse to learn more information about that situation.
We will kill you for our woman. We believe that if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up like men and place the same penalty over the head of anyone who puts his filthy hands out to put in the direction of our women.
Guys, once again, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Every 8 Hours. Remember, it's not every 8 hours, it's every 5.5 hours that a Black woman or child is being murdered, kidnapped, or violated. I will continue to bring these stories to you guys. May Taylor rest in peace. May she find a peace that she couldn't find here on earth. May her boys have peace. I pray that she watch over them and protect them as the best as she can from heaven above. I pray the rest of her family have peace. And you guys take care. Remember, it's every 5.5 hours. Make sure you're protecting yourself. Make sure you're practicing your Second Amendment rights and evaluating the reasoning and the quality of everybody that you allow in your life. Until next time, take care.